Hi guys, so today we're going to show you stiff leg deadlift. We'll use some dumbbells today. You can use a barbell, it really doesn't particularly matter, whatever you're most comfortable with. And we are going to show you a stiff legged deadlift. There's loads of people posting all the time at the moment that they're doing this stiff leg deadlift and the legs are stiff. At the end of the day, stiff leg deadlift is exactly that, your legs should be stiff. So I used to do them differently to how I'm going to show you now for quite a few years. Still works incredibly well, but it just involves the lower back and glutes a little bit more. So what I'm going to show you today is a stiff leg deadlift that is just really solely on the hamstrings as much as possible. The back position may look a little bit strange. We're not arching the back, we're kind of rounding the back over, which goes against most things. But as long as you're keeping the form exceptionally good, you're not going to hurt your back. And keeping everything positioned correctly, you'll be fine and you'll massively feel it in the hamstrings, there's no question about that. So just watch how we show you how it's done, try it yourself, go light at first, increase the weight over time, and again try and get that engagement into the hamstrings. Like I said, don't worry that how the back position particularly looks. If it looks strange, because most of the time we tell you to arch your back, but we're trying to eliminate the lower back and the upper back and everything out of the movement as much as possible, get it on the hamstrings. And there will be a little bit more stress on the glutes as well, okay? So I will show you it a little bit and then I'll bring George in so I can talk you through it as well. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the body position, then I'll get George in with the dumbbells and then I can talk you through it exactly. So basically if you did what you see mainly, and I'm going to show you a stiff leg deadlift. Okay, so normally you keep your head pretty straight, the bar or dumbbells would be super close or touching your legs. We'd keep the arch in the back. We'd go down to the point that any more you're going to round over, kind of like a regular deadlift, and then you'd squeeze back up through the glutes and hamstrings. Fantastic movement, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to show you something here that's going to focus it a lot more on the hamstrings. Okay, so what I want you to do actually is round the body over. Again, don't panic about the position. Again, the bar or dumbbells will be as close to your legs as possible. Depending on flexibility, and you might find that over weeks, months, you will get better flexibility, there's no question about it. Some people actually get better flexibility through the set. Go to a comfortable stretching point, don't try and overstretch, that's not necessary, because it's just ligaments and tendons mainly then that's stretching so much. Okay, so you're going to keep super close. We're going to go down as low as you can, okay? I've not done anything at the moment, so I'm just going to go down to the ankles. Okay, so you're keeping legs straight, everything close, and what you're doing is you're squeezing up through the hamstrings and glutes, keeping this super close till your bum squeezes. As soon as you feel that flex in your bum, you hold and squeeze, and then you're slowly going back down to the bottom, exactly the same. As much pressure as you can through the heels. If you struggle at first to feel it, you can put a little plate down, a couple of little plates, and put the ball of your feet on those plates, and that will help you squeeze a little bit more through the heel. The only thing with that is, when I'm telling you to keep your legs straight like that, keep them like that. What I don't want you to do is you're not trying to force your kneecaps through the backs of your legs, okay? And sometimes when you use those plates, it can almost feel like that, so just be a little bit careful with that. But for some people initially, when you're starting out, you can just feel it a little bit more. So what I try and tell everybody to do is try and focus on you driving everything to your ankles. So the whole body is driven to the ankles, squeeze, same going down, everything to the ankles. And you will feel, I can even feel that just doing it with no weight at all. So we'll bring George in, get the position, and we'll show you exactly with some weight. Okay guys, so I've got a little bit of weight. As I said before, it's not relevant whether it's a bar or a dumbbell, whatever's most comfortable for you. You may need to wear wrist straps as the weight increases because you don't want to be thinking about your grip. Okay, so feet shoulder width apart at the most. Okay, take the dumbbells. Okay, like I said, for me, I'm cold at the moment, I haven't warmed up, but reasonably flexible, so I can sit the dumbbells on the floor without overly stretching. If you can do that, brilliant, but go to the point that you feel the stretch. Don't try and go beyond that. Over time, as I say, flexibility will come with it. Okay, so we've got the dumbbells. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to keep them super close, back nice and rounded, you're squeezing up. That's my point, as the dumbbells touch my legs, my bum squeezes, I flex, and I slowly go back down. The dumbbells sit on the floor, I go again, squeeze, control down, everything pushed to the ankles constantly. I'm trying to drive through my heels as much as I possibly can. Okay, so I'll show you it side on. Okay, so shoulder width. Okay, the back's not arched as it normally would be. Okay, so from here, squeezing up, flexing, everything constant to my ankles. Feel the stretch a second, squeeze through, keep them close, flex, control back down, keeping it close, pause at the bottom, we go again. Okay, even with that, I can feel that pulling unbelievably on the hamstrings. My lower back don't really feel it at all, so tech's getting used to. Okay, so we're going to show you an alternative movement to this, just in case you have any injuries or you're struggling with it, and hopefully you can do it on a different sort of apparatus and feel it on there without having the stress of the free weights if you can't do it like that. Some people do it on a Smith machine and things, but you've got to get the angle and everything just right, because if not, even though the Smith machine's perfectly lined up, if you're not perfectly lined up, then it's not going to be hitting exactly where you want it to be, okay? So we'll show you an alternative, but please give this a try because you will feel it massively on the hamstrings. Okay guys, so a little alternative to that movement. I'm going to do it on a hyperextension. I know some people will have hamstring benches and things like that, so you can do it on either, really don't matter. The setting wants to be low like a hyper should be, so it's on the top of the thighs. I have got these two pads here because I can't even tell you how much my quads are hurting from sissy squats yesterday, and my lower back from T-bar rows and that today. So I'm not been a fanny, but it really is they're just in agony at bottom of movement. So basically, the movement is performed exactly the same. So whereas a hyperextension, I would have my feet right up to the back of the plate. On here, what you want is you just want, so the ball of the foot's flat on the floor and the heel is up on the plate. Okay. So obviously you can use weight here as well. You can hold a plate or a dumbbell in front of you. It really don't matter. Okay, man, this is gonna hurt. Okay. Right, so basically, obviously a hyper, you would be arched coming up as you should be, you know, for lower back, which still will get hamstrings and glutes, but feet higher up. So here, my feet, balls of the feet are on the floor, okay, heels on, legs are completely straight, and if you watch when I come up, I'm squeezing through the hamstring. Again, bum squeezed there, and then I'm controlling back over. Now, normally I'd have a weight, so what I'm doing is I'm forcing everything to the ankle. So I'm squeezing up, flex, all the way back down, pull it till the weight sits on the floor. Okay, so you want to be driving your hips into this pad as hard as you can and keeping yourself over. So you're squeezing, again, trying to drive everything to the ankles is the best way I can explain it for most people that train. So that's what I would do, just think of forcing everything to the ankles and the heels. And don't arch up, keep the body really tucked or under, and you'll feel it right through the hamstrings and into the glutes. Again, as soon as the glutes squeeze, hold there, control down. As soon as we go beyond that squeeze of the glutes, the lower back's taking over at that point, which is what we're trying to eliminate on this movement, or the stiff leg deadlift. Give this a try. This is great for people particularly that have injuries, because obviously the lower back, because you're resting on something with the quads, the lower back is protected a lot more. So the movement is exactly the same, just performed over this, or you know, a hamstring bench of some kind that you may have. Give it a try, let us know what you think. If you need to know anything else, leave us a comment below and we'll get back to you on it. But I promise you, this will build your hamstrings unbelievably if you do the movement correctly. So give it a go, give us a shout, let us know what you think.